Mic checker, checker. It's not some, baby. Yeah, a one time, baby. What? For your mind, baby. Yeah, we gon' shine, baby. And what we do, we gon' grind, baby. Yeah. What? And this is another episode, so of Swingers After Dark. And this is your host, Not Some, baby. Here we go. What's good, family? What's good? You know, this is another episode of Swingers After Dark. You know, I was thinking, reflecting on my life. Yes, I was thinking back, thinking about my ups, thinking about my downs. And, I posed the question to myself. Is quitting the same thing as giving up? And I'm going to let you decide based on my experiences, my trials and tribulations, and my successes and failures. Now, once upon a time, I had basketball dreams. I had basketball dreams of making it to the NBA. My father used to play semi-professional basketball, growing up. And I wanted to follow in his footsteps. You understand me? Like, my father, he played for the church. He played semi-pro. And, I wanted to be on some like father, like son type shit. I wanted to carry the torch. You understand me? But those hoop dreams were not in the cards. Shout out to my favorite documentary, by the way. Hoop Dreams is my favorite documentary of all time. But back to the lecture at hand. I didn't take basketball serious. You understand me? Like, I was good, but not great. You feel me? I did not take basketball serious. First of all, I didn't have handles and I didn't have a shot. Like, I could not dribble myself out of a maze and I could not shoot myself out of a wet paper bag. I did not work on my dribbling. I did not work on my shooting. I just played just to play. I played on the playground. Like, I didn't play organized sports except for 1 year in my 8th grade. And I always played nervous. Like, I didn't play with the supreme confidence. And that hindered my game. And even though that hindered my game, even though I wasn't good at offense, like dribbling and, dribbling and shooting, I had some D. Like, my defense was on point. You understand me? And, I always played bigger than the height and weight that I really was. Like, I played big. You understand me? Like, at the time, I was like a Dennis Rodman or a Charles Barkley. Mainly a Dennis Rodman, because I could grab rebounds over taller players. I could worm myself in the paint and the hole and grab a rebound over dudes who are taller than me. And I was undersized at power forward. I played power forward and sometimes guarded centers. Like, not for nothing, I even played against Eddie Curry. Now, for those who do not know who Eddie Curry is, one time he was drafted by the Bulls, then he was traded to the Knicks, then he got a championship with the Miami Heat. And we're around the same age. And my team played against his traveling team, and I went up for a layup, and he threw my shit to the stands. Real talk. But, I gave up on basketball because it wasn't in the cards for me to become a professional basketball player. For one, I wasn't tall enough. You feel me? Now I'm 6 feet. But growing up, if I'm 6 feet now, you could only imagine how tall I was growing up. And my father, God rest the dead, he was like 6'3", 6'4". So it was a lot easier for him to play the game. You understand me? Like, Michael Jordan, when he got cut in high school, he was like 5'11". He was like 6 feet, 5'11". And then he grew 4 inches over the summer. And those extra inches gave him the confidence to make the basketball team. And I could not play guard. At my height, I wasn't suitable to play guard because I had no dribbles. I couldn't shoot and I had no dribbles. So I had no business playing as a perimeter player. I wasn't fit to be a guard. I was fit to be a power forward or a center or both. But I did not have the height to play that game. Like, I'm 6 feet now. I'm a grown man. How many 6-footers that you know playing power forward and center? Don't worry, I'll wait. I rest my case. So I had to, like when I got in high school, I had to toss basketball in a can. Like it wasn't for me. Basketball wasn't for me. So I 86 the idea. I killed the idea. So, I started writing poetry. I started writing short stories and I started to rap. Like, junior high school, I used to rap up other people's songs and pass it off as mine. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to write my own rhymes. So I started writing my own lyrics, writing my own rhymes. And, people liked it. People thought I had flow. They thought I had skills. So I parlayed that from junior high school to high school. Like I started taking rap serious. I even cut an album with a classmate, with a childhood friend. We cut an album together. He played all the instruments and I was rapping. He played the drums, he played the keyboards, he played the guitar. He was Mr. Everything. And I was the rapper, I was the vocalist. And we cut an album. We sold CDs around the school and I got a little bit of change from that. And then I used to battle dudes. Like back in the 90s, that's when lyrics mattered. Like if you called yourself a rapper, you had to put your skills to test. I don't care if you were a gangster rapper, a party rapper, a kiddie rapper, a conscious rapper, a woke rapper. It didn't matter. You had to put your skills to test. Like battling in a lunchroom or on the street, that was like your rites of passage to become an MC, master of ceremony, a rapper. You understand me? You needed to put your skills to test. Like back in the 90s, if you call yourself a rapper, man, you better show and prove. It's not like now where you could just go on your laptop, on your computer, make a song, hope that it becomes a hit, and voila, you're an instant star. But no, you had to show and prove. You had to dust off your sword. You had to swing your sword and chop off heads. This was the 90s. Like I'm not the type of person who loved to romanticize the past, on that funeral love stuff. But the 90s, there were a lot of classic albums in the 90s that were considered because it was so much good songs, good music coming out of that era. Not only in rap, also in grunge, in R&B, whatever the case, alternative music, rock music, whatever the case. But when I was rapping, I wasn't comfortable with rapping. I wasn't comfortable in rapping like I was playing basketball because I rap nervous. Whether I was in a studio or I was performing on stage, I did not have the supreme confidence that I should have possessed to take my skills to the next level. You understand me? Like when I went to college, I battled and I cut 2 albums. And I sold records. I sold CDs hand to hand, man to man, man to woman. Didn't matter. I was selling it on trains, on buses, on the street, on campus. It didn't matter. I was literally eating off my music. And I made some good money selling CDs. But I didn't have that it factor. I didn't have that that it. Like when you see me, I didn't have that star quality, and I recognize that. Yes, I was a good lyricist, I was a dope MC, but my show performance wasn't up to par. I was a studio rapper. Yes, I could perform on stage, but because I always performed nervous, I did not perform to my highest potential. So just like basketball, it was I had to leave rapping alone. Like, even though I invested in albums and shooting a music video, I invested at least $5,000 in my rap career that went nowhere. But I don't regret that because it taught me to, go after your dreams and your vision. And it's not a loss. Nothing is not a loss when you strive to set what you want to achieve, to accomplish what you want to achieve, to set forth goals that you want to achieve. I didn't see it as a failure, but I saw that as a moment where I had to change course. And into writing. You know, I wrote I've been writing since the fourth grade. I've been writing since the fourth grade. And the writing bug hit me when I won $25. I won $25 from writing an essay about Malcolm X. Like, I beat out everybody on the fourth grade level in my elementary school. Like, I beat all the fourth graders in my school. I beat out all of them. And I won $25 from writing an essay. We had to write about a famous person. So Malcolm X, the movie came out. So I wrote about Malcolm X. And as a result, I won $25. I convinced judges that, my pen game was on point for me to win $25. And I bought me a Carl Kanai outfit. A short and, a short set. It was like a short set and a hooded shirt. A Carl Kanai outfit. Like back in the early 90s, Carl Kanai was the shit. You know what I'm saying? Carl Kanai was like the Ralph Lauren in the inner cities and the urban areas. Shout out to Carl Kanai. So, I parlayed that. I transformed that into, I used to write out cartoons. Like, I couldn't draw. Like, I had two left hands when it comes to drawing. I couldn't draw a lick. I couldn't draw an Etch-a-Sketch. I couldn't draw. So I wrote episodes instead. And, writing episodes that led to me writing short stories. Writing short stories had led to me writing poems. Writing poems had led to me writing lyrics, and so on and so on. And I even started writing my own full-fledged novels in high school and in college, but I didn't finish. I still got them somewhere, but I didn't finish those novels. But the difference is I had the confidence in my pen game, because even when I was rapping, dudes would be like, your pen game is on point. You have a strong penmanship, but your rapping delivery is not on point. Why shouldn't you just be a ghostwriter and write other people's stuff? And I'm not a quitter, so I'm like, you know what? Forget what you saying. I'm going to rock this out. I'm going to rap regardless. And I didn't stop rapping because of the naysayers. I stopped rapping because it did not go anywhere. There was no future. And I recognized that. Just like there wasn't a future for me playing basketball, there wasn't a future for me rapping. So then I started, doing my research about publishing. And then, I studied novels, I studied movies, I studied how to put together a story, character development, how to set up plots and subplots. And this, then, the third, I learned the music business, I learned the publishing business, the publishing entertainment. And, I even met up with a publisher. This high school associate of mine, his mother owned a publishing company. And, I introduced myself to her. And, I was so damn nervous. It was like an awkward meeting. You know what I'm saying? It was like an awkward meeting. But, when I got into college, after like my rapping career, it was on the fritz. Like, I didn't want to rap anymore. I started rapping in 2008. Like, the last real performance that I had was in the Bronx, New York. It was like an open door concert on Jerome Avenue. I think it was Jerome Avenue and Webster. Don't quote me on that, because I don't know if they run parallel. I just know it was on Jerome Avenue and Webster. Something like that. I think it was along the 6 train. We was under the 6. No, it wasn't. Was it the 6 or the 5 or the 4? Anyway, the New York train system confused the fuck out of me, even though I've been living here since 2001. But anyway, you get the point. 2008 was the last time I really performed on stage, because that's when I wrote my first novel, I Hate My Job. I was in the process of writing I Hate My Job. And I felt like I found my calling, because I was comfortable with writing. I was comfortable with sitting down. I didn't care what people thought of me. I didn't have that same nervous energy that I had when I was playing basketball and rapping. I didn't have that same nervous energy. I had the supreme confidence that I should have had when I played sports and when I were into music. When I was into music, I should have had that same confidence, but I didn't. But writing was different. And me going back to writing was like going back to a high school sweetheart that you left behind. You played the field, you went through your whole phase, your player phase. You fucked a lot of broads, this, then the third. But you realized that, the other chicks could not measure up to your first love, which was writing. Before basketball, I was writing. Before music, I was writing. Sports and basketball and music came later. You understand me? So I came back to my first passion. But before writing, I wanted to be an architect. But considering the fact that back then I did not like math. Math was a weak subject of mine. Like if you tell me 2 + 2 instead of 4, I'm gonna say 6. You feel me? But now I love math. It's funny. It's like I used to hate math because it was my weak subject. And throughout junior high school, I had to go to summer school for math. But now I love math. Like I would be an A student now if you put me in a math class. But anyway, I did not, go into architect because I hated math. I did not go into basketball because I did not sharpen my skills. I did not take basketball serious. I really didn't go into music because I took music serious. I took rapping serious, but I didn't have the chops to be the GOAT, to be the greatest, to be the superstar. You understand me? I did not have the chops. Because I'm the type of dude, if I do something, I want to be the greatest. I don't want to be the face in the crowd. I want to stand out. I want to be the greatest. I want to be the GOAT. I want to be the greatest of all time. You understand me? And with writing, I know for a fact that I could be the greatest of all time. If not a legend amongst legends. Kings of kings. King of kings. You feel me? So I came out with my book in 2009 and I hit a home run out the gate. I hit a home run. I won the 2009 Best Male Author Awards. And, I hit the ground running and I didn't look back. And now I'm writing my 8th novel. It's called Fuck. Yes, F-U-C-K. I'm writing my book and now it's called Fuck. And, check me out. Not son, check out my books. It's on Amazon. It's on Nook. It's on Google Books. It's on ebook. It takes a lot of money to, print out books and shit like that. And I don't feel like with the overhead, I don't feel like if you don't sell books, it's just going to be furniture in your household. So I'm doing well with the ebooks. And now, I'm doing my thing. So I found my calling. And like I tell my listeners, like I tell you, it's about finding your calling. You understand me? You may fail at something, but that doesn't mean that it's the end of the world just because you feel like you're a failure at something. There's something else out there that's calling you to take over. That's calling you to reign supreme. That's calling you to maximize to your fullest potential so you could go where you want to go in life. You understand me? And that's why I found in writing. When I didn't make it to the NBA, when I knew there was no future in me playing basketball, I didn't get depressed. I didn't want to kill myself. I didn't sulk and bicker. I went into another venture. I went into music. When I realized rapping wasn't working, it's all good. I went to writing because I could write. I'm an excellent writer. And even though I'm an excellent writer, in my heart of hearts, I'm still improving. Every time I write a book, I'm improving. I'm strengthening a weakness. I'm looking at my weaknesses and strengthening that weakness. It's like when you hit the gym, you can't lift that barbell now, but when you hit the gym consistently, that barbell that you couldn't lift is going to feel like a feather. And that's what I'm saying. When you find your calling, that brick is going to turn into feather because you're still working on it. And when people ask me, how am I able to bang out a book? How am I able to develop characters and set up plots and subplots and plot twists, and this, that, and the third? I say, look, I've been writing since I was in the 4th grade. It's like muscle memory. It's like lifting weights. The brain is a muscle, in my view. So you have to work hard at it. You have to work hard at building muscle. And your brain, it's like muscle memory. You feel me? And the brain is no different. So as I keep writing, I'm always improve because I take my craft serious. I look at writing as an art, as a discipline, as a craft. And whatever I do, I'm striving to be the greatest. You feel me? And that's I say that with all due respect to the writers who came before me and the writers who are still writing now. You understand me? So that's my journey. So is giving up the same as quitting? I leave that up to you, because you gotta know when something is not working for you. When something is not working, you shouldn't beat a dead horse. You understand me? And when you find out that something is not working, it's good to see what else that you can do and become the best at that. Because it's finding your passion. When you find your passion and you know that you're good at it, like when you know for a fact that you're good at it, then you should work on that. But if you're just lollygagging, you're lackadaisical with what you're doing, then it may not be for you. You feel me? But it's like meeting that person for the first time, and it's not love at first sight, but you want to be with that person and you want to work things out through better or worse, through sickness and health. You feel me? And that's how it was with me in writing. I'm gonna forever write. I'm not gonna play basketball forever. I'm not gonna rap forever. I haven't played basketball, I haven't played a pickup game since freshman year of college, and I haven't rapped on a song over 10 years. But I'm gonna forever write. Why? Because it's my passion and I found my calling. You dig? So you have to decide whether a gift is worth your time, or it's just for you to leave alone and find something else that you can master. Because you don't want to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. You understand me? Because you think that if you quitting, then you're a failure. No. Sometimes you got to get on your ass just to look up, because the only way to go is up when you're on your ass. You feel me? And it's about finding what you're good at. Everybody is good at something. Everybody has a talent, and it's up to you to find that talent. And on that note, this has been another episode of Swingers After Dark, and this is your host, Nasun, baby. Check out my website at www.nasunblaze.com. That's www.nahsunblaze.com. And check out my ebook, You, Me, Us, Them, The Swinger Manifesto. It's on Nook, Kindle, iBooks, Google Play. Go get it. Shoot me an email at swingpodcast@gmail.com. That's swingpodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up with any questions or concerns that you may have. Rate, share, subscribe, and comment on this podcast. You dig? And on that note, until next time, peace.